4 top 10 teams have traveled out to the West and have already lost this season. Texas to Stanford, Michigan and Alabama to UCLA, and Miami to Washington. The Pac is back. College Game Day has invaded Pac-10 territory for today's UCLA-Oregon game.
Yeah, it's the first time the Game Day crew has ever been on a Pac-10 campus, and they picked a good one. In the last 3 meetings, these two schools have combined to score 212 points with an average victory margin of less than a touchdown. The only downside, Chris Fowler, kind of an early wake-up call.
Yeah, 4:45 to be exact, but it's worth it. It's worth it to come out here to Pac-10 country and watch, as you said, the game that's provided more thrills the last couple of years than any rivalry, Oregon and UCLA. You can tell in Eugene, they are pumped up. Autzen Stadium, a tremendous home field advantage. They've won 16 in a row here. The Bruins have not proven they can win on the road. A frosty morning here in Eugene, and it'll be a frosty reception for UCLA. More on that in College Game Day. There's not a lot of love between these two schools. Oregon, tremendous opportunity to finally get some of that national respect in the next 3 weeks. This game, visited by Washington, then against USC. But the focus today is on the Bruins and all these weapons and all this speed and all those points. Should be a lot of fun.
You know, Oregon has a potent offensive passing attack. The passer is Joey Harrington, the quarterback. Maurice Morris is their runner, and Keenan Lowry can catch the football. In fact, those three combined for 6 touchdowns in the first half and 1 drive last week. They can score from anywhere. Good players at Oregon.
You know what? You're complimenting Oregon, and they're booing you. They'll love you here in a little bit. You know what? One of the things to watch today, not only the offense of Oregon, but their defense. UCLA comes in with a tremendous, talented offensive group, and one of the things that's going to be key is Oregon's defensive front. Zach Prater comes back to play today. He's their best defensive lineman against the run. How he does in stopping Deshaun Foster will be key today.
Both teams have struggled at times on defense. This should be another fun shootout. The Pac-10 could not be hotter. 7-1 last week. This is the first big showcase game for the conference in league play. The Big Ten has struggled out of league, but it gets a showcase game as well this evening in Champaign as Michigan comes calling against the Illini, who have a rare sellout there. Quarterback's always the issue. Kurt Kitt, the Illini, says, forget the sprained knee. It's fine. I'm going to play. They'll be braced up against a very hungry and angry Michigan defense. Meanwhile, for the Wolverines, we don't know what's going to happen. Drew Henson, John Navarre. It's always a mystery with the Wolverines.
It is a mystery, and who knows who's going to end up playing quarterback for them. But for Michigan to be able to win this game, their front 7 has got to be able to play well. Last week when Eric Wilson went down, one of the few experienced defensive linemen, when he went down, UCLA controlled the front in the line of scrimmage. He's not going to play in this game. Playing on the road again, that front 7 is going to be challenged again by Kurt Kittner. That would be a good matchup to watch.
You know, Michigan's front 7 will be tested by that running back from Illinois named Rocky Harvey. Last year, he had 2 long touchdowns against the Wolverines. But the key to me is Hayden Epstein. How he does with that place kicking should be the difference. Remember, he missed some ones last week that killed him against UCLA. He's got to kick.
You always get your eye on the kicker.
All right.
We'll talk about the Pac-10 showdown, the Big Ten showdown, the Notre Dame-Michigan State game. Tremendous atmosphere here in Eugene as we are just a warm-up back for what the Bruins are going to face inside Autzen Stadium. Can they make UCLA victim number 17 in a row here? College Game Day will also focus on South Carolina where they rip down the goalposts again. We'll meet Mitchell and Foster from UCLA and plenty of the Ducks as well. And we'll focus on Oregon. Is this their breakthrough game nationally? College Game Day coming up at the top of the hour from Eugene. Hope you'll join us. Back to the studio.
Thanks.
Nicest work here. This is great stuff, ladies. All we ask is that you give it your best try. You guys are fantastic. No, we're not just fantastic. You're super fantastic.
Oh, not good enough! Not good enough, Gene! It's do or die time. What do you want out of this, Gene? Do you want a championship or do you want a 4th grade intramural game? Because that's what you're giving me now. You're not giving me pro. You're giving me 4th grade. And if I want 4th grade, I'll hire a bunch of 4th.
Autzen Stadium's a well-kept secret outside the Pac-10. It is tiny, but it's raucous. It might be the best home field advantage in all of the West. Lee Corso, Kirk Herbstreit, join me. Guys, the Pac-10 could not be hotter. This is the best matchup anywhere in the country. UCLA has been the big part of the Pac-10's charge. They've already proven they can play with heart and unity after the disaster last season, proven they can play good defense. Ryan McCann has proven he can be a more than capable emergency fill-in quarterback. But they haven't proven they can win on the road. 6 straight losses on the road going back a couple of years. It's going to be a tough test for them.
Speaking of the road, boy, if you haven't seen this game at all, if you've got to watch this game, watch it for one reason. Watch Oregon's uniforms. You got to like green. They're the greenest uniforms. They got green all over the place. If you like green, you're going to love them. If you don't like green, don't watch the game. But football-wise, I think Oregon's got a chance to sneak up on these guys because it's a tough place to play.
All right. I'm going to talk some football real quick. If you could. Deshaun Foster, running back for UCLA, is a talented back coming into this game. What he needs to be able to do is establish the run early, because the Bruins, if they can't establish the run, they get into obvious passing downs. That's playing into Oregon's strength on the defensive side of the ball. And I'll tell you, Oregon struggled a bit against Wisconsin and Michael Bennett, and then again last week against Idaho. They've got to stop Deshaun Foster to win this game.
UCLA's had the slow starts. Might not want to do that against the guys in the green uniforms over there. Michigan wearing the maize and blue. They have the road white on as they take on Illinois homecoming game. Michigan wants payback badly after losing. Quarterback's the big issue. Is Henson going to play? Kittner is going to play for Illinois.
Well, you think of a Big Ten football game like this, late, being played on prime time on ESPN, you think of battle's going to be won up front. And Michigan last week, when Eric Wilson went down, they were dominated up front in the trenches by UCLA. Now they're going into Champaign, where it's even going to be more hostile. Illinois is going to try to control the line of scrimmage and throw the football with Kirk Kittner, and also they can run it with Rocky Harvey. Michigan's got to step up front.
Last week against UCLA, Michigan blew a 10-point lead and lost by 3, and there's only one reason. Their place kicker, Hayden Epstein, he missed 2 field goals and an extra point. You can say anything you want. They'd be undefeated if that guy had made just a couple of those. Just 2.
And you mentioned they are banged up on the defensive front. Eric Wilson is out. It's a big challenge for that Wolverine defense against the Illini, who finally had their first sellout in 5 years. Congratulations, Illinois fans. We are back here in front of the Oregon fans for College Game Day, 11 a.m. Eastern, 8 Pacific. More discussion of the big games and on the uniforms.